MultiCrack Office is the best thing since sliced bread, and I'm not joking. Okay, maybe I am. It's more like the best thing since Ring Yi Song, but still. Charge is a stats effect in Limbus Company that has had a wild ride. Many charge units have been extremely strong since day one, and people felt that Limbus Company was oversaturated with charge IDs because of all the content Charge got throughout seasons 1 and 2. And then we didn't get a charge ID for over half a year. But, regardless of this, a common complaint I've seen about charge units is that many of them play extremely similarly. Just build up charge and then spend it on a skill that hits, like the Sinner tied a small semi-truck to their weapon. And I have to agree with the sentiment. Even W Corp Udis' charge potency gimmick is ultimately secondary to her build charge up and unleash strong skill 3 game plan. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love W Corp Udis, but I, like many others, felt that even though charge is in a fine place, it had more potential from a design perspective. And then came the MultiCrack Office. Like W Udis, the MultiCrack IDs have charge potency in their kit that they build up from how much total charge they consumed. Now, the MultiCrack IDs do build up charge for a strong skill, so in that sense they aren't that different from the standard charge IDs I was just talking about, right? Well, yes, but it's a lot deeper than that. You can really break down W Corp Don Quixote's game plan into get enough charge, whether that be from skills or teleport, and then rip space enemy. You have to decide when to let it rip, of course, but her game plan is ultimately built up to something to use it to build it up again. It's a very simple and a very strong loop. Now, if you've played Limbus Company before, you probably know that the general formula for charge is to build up charge with the first and second skills, and then consume it on the third. In contrast, MultiCrack consumes it on their first and second skills and generates a lot on their third skill. They're the reverse charge ID. To explain simply, I made this chart. The general gameplay loop of both Faust and Heathcliff is to get the ball of their charge rolling, because they both have extremely poor generation outside of their skill 3, with their skill 1s giving 3 and 4 charge on hit respectively. Once they have charge, they spend it on their skill 2, which gives them charge potency, which powers up their skill 3. Because their skill 3 is both what they build towards and their main source of charge generation, it makes for a really interesting dynamic in my opinion. You now have 2 goals that you're building for, one short term and one long term, and the 2 are intertwined. In the short term, you want to have 5 or more charge to get charge potency from your skill 2, and in the long term, you want to have enough charge potency to make your skill 3 and other effects stronger. I think having your skill 3 serve a dual purpose as both your opening skill and your powerful finishing skill that you build towards is a really refreshing take on the basic charge formula, and the low amounts of charge that the identities generate open up a lot of interesting team building synergies to support them, and maybe allow them to hold onto their first skill 3 to use as a nuke instead of instantly cashing out for charge count. As for the specifics of the actual kits, I think they're similarly inspired. Faust skill 2 rewards both low and high amounts of charge by boosting 5 to 9 charge count to 10, and being able to spend all charge count with 3 plus envy res, potentially causing Faust to deal a crazy plus 180% damage finisher, an amount that allows her to rival Yisong's Sanguine Pointillism with a raw damage stat of about 87. Her skill 3 I've talked about long enough already, but it is truly great as a payoff skill, with a potential roll of 32 and as a starter skill with a default charge count gain of 12. As for Heathcliff, the same praise applies to skill 3 that provides 10 charge count by default. Additionally, half of his skills apply photoelectricity, a great supporting effect that helps any IDs that generate low amounts of charge like W Merceau and the Rose Spanners, and his self-haste helps ensure that the rest of his team can benefit from it, and his values are just solid in general, especially for a free 2-star ID. We've come a long way from Chef Gregor, haven't we? So, to conclude, Project Moon made peak again, can't wait for Wild Hunt, and subscribe if you enjoyed. I'm trying to get to 1k subscribers.